Hey, I'm Jordan. I'm Jordan Plays Blue, and this is my March 2022 roundup where I talk about a couple games that I played this month. I can't believe it's already April. And March was a bit of a weird month for me. I played a bunch of games that I don't own. I just playing games with friends, playing games, went away for a couple days with some people in a game group. Played some games there. I had played some games with a buddy and some other friends that I just don't own. So I honestly, if you go over my Instagram page, I didn't review a ton of games either this month. It was just kind of a slow month when it came to that kind of stuff. But I have a couple games I wanted to chat about that were still fun, and yeah, let's do it. I mentioned Scout last week, so I'm going to start there. Scout is a ladder climbing sort of card shedding game where you're playing sets or runs of cards out on the table. But the trick is the cards all have 2 numbers on them, but you can only you can't rearrange the cards in your hand, and so you have to play the cards as they are in your hand to play out onto the table, and you're trying to get rid of all your cards throughout the round. I really enjoy this game. This is definitely my most played game this month. I played it a bunch of times. I got my own copy. This is the Oink version. When I was on the Dice Tower Cruise, I played the original version, which I think was from Korea, and I will say I prefer that original version over this one for 2 reasons. One, this one added a circus theme, which I think actually kind of pulls away from the game a little bit because it adds some extra stuff on the cards that frankly doesn't make sense. It adds names to the card, so like maybe this 2 is named Kevin. Why is it named Kevin? I don't know. It also has a cannon on it. Don't know why it has a cannon either. And the theming is just, it is a pure abstract card game, and the theming, I don't mind games that are themed just to give it good window dressing, but I don't know if this one gives it good window dressing. So I think if it kind of takes away from it. Also, the original version had this little card or this little fold-out sheet that you could put on the table and show people what beats what, that sets beat runs. You know, just something simple like that, because that's sometimes not always not always apparent, you know, and like in poker, often a straight beats a pair, you know, or something like that. So it's not always apparent to the folks playing the game, and so literally adding 1 extra card would be really helpful. And I wish it had that. This production is fine. It's very small, compact. The bits are nice. The cardboard bits are nice. The card quality is good. But this one just kind of feels like it's missing just a couple things that was in the original game. So it's fine, just not the best. But I still really enjoy Scout. So all of those things. Still really enjoy Scout. This is a good copy of it if you can't find the original, which I couldn't find the original. That's why I got this one. I'll be hanging on to this one, and I will keep playing it. But I will be annoyed that that one little card is not there, and I will continue to make fun of the silly names that are on the cards too. A game I will probably not be keeping, but it's not a bad game per se, is Castle Party. This is from Devir. This is a flip and write style game in which you are you're like these, vampires, zombies, ghosts, those kinds of things attending this castle party. And you are going into this ballroom and trying to position them properly in the ballroom. You're going to have these cards that have the different characters on them. Each round you're going to flip over a card that has a polyomino shape on it, and then the players around the table are going to play a card to create that polyomino shape with the characters, and then you're going to draw those symbols on your board, trying to puzzle them in the best way to make sure that everybody's going to fit into this ballroom. And you get points based off of getting groups of the same types of characters on there. I think it's a good game. I think it's probably around maybe like a 6-ish, 6.5, something like that. For me, it's just probably not, it doesn't rise to the top when it comes to other games in this style, whether it's polyomino or flip and write style games. The production is really solid. Artwork is really charming, but it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't rise to the top of those style of games. I know some people have really enjoyed this one, but for this one it was just fine. My oldest daughter, or one of my other kids, May, enjoyed this, and but even I think she prefers other games that do this too. So, fine game, just not one that kind of rose to the top for us. So I'll probably be moving on from it because, you know, I only want like the best games, right, in my collection. Another game I wanted to talk about is Honey Buzz. I don't have Honey Buzz, but I got to play it for the first time this month. I played it at a game group with some friends, and it is a really good game. It's kind of an economic style worker placement game where you are bees buzzing around, doing different worker bee stuff, making baby bees, collecting nectar, buzzing around, adding honeycombs to your little honeycomb shape in front of you. It works super well, and I really like economic style games. I don't get to play them a lot, and this one was a lighter economic game, which felt really accessible and really just had a great look and great production to it. And it's one that I'm definitely going to try to get my hands on. I think my wife and other friends of mine will really like it. I have a lot of friends, incidentally, that are beekeepers. It's just something I just really surround myself with people that are, honey and bees are really important to them. So I want to make sure that I'm supporting them in that way. So I think Honey Buzz is a great, no, it's a great game. And I really want to get a hold of it. I really enjoyed the economic styles of it, where even though in front of me, I didn't feel like I had a really great engine going with the positioning of my honeycombs and to create those cells to be able to score or to trigger actions, I guess. I didn't feel like I had a great setup there, and so I wasn't producing a ton of the either nectar or pollen, whatever the little squishy pieces are. I wasn't producing a ton of those, unfortunately. But I was able to collect a lot of the I can't remember if it's pollen or nectar. I think the pollen is out here and the nectar is over here. I can't remember which is which. I was able to collect the other one that was kind of on that one, the little grid that you're moving around. I was able to collect a lot of that, and I was selling that instead of the nectar. And so that it was really cool that even though I kind of messed up that area, that I was still able to just use other parts of the board and still did well. I actually won the game, which is unusual for me, but I was able to do that just by kind of pivoting and and ended up focusing on something else because I just wasn't doing very well over there. So that's Honey Buzz. I don't have it, but I hope to have it soon. Hopefully, I think it might be, I might try to, if there's a late backing on a expansion for it, or see if my local game store has it. But that's Honey Buzz. Fantastic game. And then the last game I wanted to talk about, and this is not a new game, this one came out last year, which I haven't done my top 10 games of last year, but this is on it. I'll spoil that. Also, I'm doing a list for the Dice Tower that should be going up probably this week, and it's about games that fit in the Lost City size box. You know, this size box over here. And I really like games that come in this size box. But my wife and I recently played again, I haven't played it for a couple months, and that is Great Plains. This is from the same designers as Mandala, which if you follow along my stuff, I love Mandala, one of my favorite games of all time. But Great Plains is a two-player area control game, and I'm not huge on area control games, but this one, especially with two players, I think it works really well because area control games sometimes can feel like you're targeting, or players can feel targeted. Why aren't you attacking them? You're choosing to attack me, that kind of thing. And in a two-player game, of course, you have to attack the other person. So I don't mind really confrontational two-player games because obviously you're going to come at the only other player in the game. When you add multiplayers, it kind of muddies the water, I guess, with those decisions. So I think with two players, it works really well. And it has a small board. It plays very quickly, maybe a half hour. And you're just placing these pieces out on the board. And whenever you land on certain pieces, you'll get, or certain spots on the board, you get these bonus actions that let you move a little further away or bump people around. Or if you put them on those kind of yellowish spaces, those are going to be the scoring areas. And depending on the sizes of the scoring areas, if you have majority, you get those points for it. it just is a really smooth game, plays really well, has a fun kind of production with these foxes and snake meeple pieces that are coming around, and I just really like it. It works really well. It also has a feel to almost the way that you're building is always connected to something else, so it has almost a Through the Desert or a Blue Lagoon type feel, where you're building off of something that you've already built in order to fill these sections. So in those games, you're kind of sectioning off or connecting things. In this one, you're trying to have the majority in certain areas. So same kind of concept, but a little twist on that. So Great Plains, still a great game. All right, that's it. Quick video for this month, but played some great games. Some other ones that I really enjoyed that I don't have here, but I played Dream Crush, which is kind of a party game where you're trying to guess. It's like a dating style party game where you're trying to guess what other people around the table, who they would date of these ridiculous people. That one was a lot of fun. I got to play Rift Force, which I'm definitely going to be talking about in the future. I have a bunch of reviews coming up, but I want to play a lot of games another 1 or 2 times, like Rift Force. Court of Miracles is from Lucky Duck, which I was actually really impressed with. I played a Batman game with a buddy, the Night of the Bat, something, Rise of the Bat, something like that from IDW, which I did not, it was fine. Probably not my style of game. But yeah, I think generally played some great games. Looking forward to playing some more this month. And I hope you also played some great games. And if you haven't, that's okay. Maybe you'll play one soon. And if you had, tell me what you played down in the comments. I'd love to hear that. And I'm always wanting to learn about other games that maybe I would like. So there we go. I'm Jordan. Thanks.